Hello, dear listener. Welcome back to the 111 Tips for Learning a Language. You are listening to episode 102. Today, we are going to tackle one of the biggest obstacles in language learning, the one that is not caused by difficulties in textbooks or language learning apps, but rather this exists in our own minds. It's this voice of self-recrimination, the fortress of frustration, and at its very core, the belief that the language mistake or failure to live up to our learning expectations is a catastrophe. We are going to learn how to quiet that voice using Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, otherwise known as REBT, developed by the pioneering psychologist Ellis. REBT is built on a powerful, simple idea. It's not events that upsets us, but our beliefs about those events. By changing our irrational beliefs, we can change our emotional and behavioral responses. For the language learner, this means changing our feelings and behavior towards learning. Let's explore the core ABC model of REBT and see how it can liberate our learning. The ABC model, the anatomy of a learning meltdown. REBT uses a simple framework to understand our reactions. A. The activating event, the situation, for example, making a mistake in a conversation. B. For belief. It is your thought about the event. For example, I must not make mistakes. This is terrible. C. The consequence. This is the emotional and behavioral result. For example, feeling ashamed and avoiding future conversations. The key insight is that A, the activating event, does not cause C, the consequence. What causes C is B, which is our belief. Our misery or the consequence, C, doesn't come from the mistake, but from the irrational belief about the mistake. Principle 1. Disputing the three musts. Ellis identified three core irrational beliefs that cause most of our suffering. Let's see their toxic role in language learning and how to dispute them. Number 1. I must do well and win approval. The language learning poison. I must speak perfectly. I must sound like a native. It would be awful if I didn't. The rational dispute. Where is it written that I must be perfect? Is it truly awful or just inconvenient and embarrassing? Is perfection a realistic goal for a learner? The evidence. Research on perfectionism in academia consistently shows that perfectionism leads to higher anxiety, avoidance behaviors, and burnout. A 2018 study in psychology in the schools found that students with high levels of perfectionism reported greater foreign language anxiety. Letting go of the must is not for settling less. Instead, you are embracing sustainable growth. Number 2. Others must treat me fairly and kindly. The language learning poison. My teacher must be endlessly patient and understanding towards my needs. It's unbearable if he or she seems impatient or confused. The rational dispute. Can I realistically control another person's reactions? Is it truly unbearable or just frustrating? Perhaps their impatience is due to their own personalities, not about my abilities. The evidence. Studies on attribution theory show that how we interpret others' behavior impacts our stress levels. Learners who attribute a partner's impatience to external unstable factors, for example, they are just having a bad day, rather than one's own internal stable forces, for example, I'm a terrible speaker, maintain higher self-efficacy and motivation. Number 3. My conditions must be easy and frustration-free. The language learning poison. Learning this language should be easier. This grammar rule is too hard to remember. I can't stand this feeling of confusion. The rational dispute. Why should it be easy? Is confusion a sign of brain failure, or is it a sign that my brain is grappling with something new? Can I stand the feeling, even if I don't like it? The evidence. The concept of desirable difficulties, pioneered by Robert Bjork, demonstrates that learning conditions that feel frustrating and effortful, like grammar rules and pronunciation, actually lead to superior long-term retention and transfer of knowledge. This struggle is not the enemy, it is the engine of deep learning. How language heals you. The power of new narratives. Engaging with a new language is inherently therapeutic. It forces you to become a beginner, to be vulnerable, and to practice self-compassion. As you learn to dispute irrational beliefs about your learning, you build a mental muscle for disputing irrational beliefs in other areas of your life. The language classroom becomes a gym for your resilience. Furthermore, a new language gives you psychological distance. Research from the emotional granularity hypothesis shows that using a foreign language can help us process emotions more rationally, as the words feel less emotionally charged. Saying, I am angry, in your native language might feel overwhelming, but saying it in the language you are learning, for example, in Malay, saya marah, or in Chinese, 我很生气, creates a slight buffer, allowing you to observe the emotion rather than to be consumed by it. Language becomes a tool for emotional regulation. How you can heal yourself via language. The REBT Self-Help Protocol. You can use your target language as the very medium for your healing. Here's how. Keep an ABC journal in your target language. This is where the magic happens. When you have a negative learning experience, write it down in simple sentences in the language you're learning. A. Activating event. I said the wrong word to my friend. B. Belief. I must never make mistakes. This is bad. Identify the must. C. Consequence. I feel embarrassed. I don't want to speak again. D. Dispute. Now, dispute your belief in the target language. Is it true I must never make mistakes? No, mistakes are normal. Is it bad or just a little uncomfortable? It is indeed uncomfortable, but I can handle it. E. New effect. I feel calmer. I will try again the next time. Create rational mantras. Develop a set of compassionate, rational phrases in your target language. Repeat them like vocabulary. Progress, not perfection. I am allowed to be a beginner. This difficulty is making my brain stronger. By doing this, you are not just learning a language, you are wiring your brain for resilience in that language. You are building a new, kinder inner voice directly in your linguistic identity. Closing thoughts, the rational path to fluency. Dear listener, your mind is your most powerful learning tool. When it is filled with must, shoulds, and oughtful, it becomes a prison. But when you learn to question those demands, it becomes the key to your freedom. Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, REBT, gives you that key. It teaches you that you can choose to feel concern about a mistake instead of panic. You can choose to feel determination in the face of difficulty instead of despair. So, the next time you feel that familiar wave of language learning frustration, pause for a while. Ask yourself, what must am I demanding right now? And is it helping me learn? Challenge the belief. Be a scientist of your own mind. In doing so, you will not only become a more effective language learner, but a calmer, more rational, and more liberated human being. Until the next time, be rational, be compassionate, and keep speaking your truth in any language. Until the next episode, I wish you inspired learning. Namaste.